Gandhi Jayanti. Today, that is 2nd October, we are celebrating Gandhi Jayanti. Gandhi Jayanti falls annually on October 2. This year, it falls on today, that is Monday, and marks the 154th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at Delhi's Rajghat on the latter's 154th birthday anniversary. You do remember that this tribute is done at Rajghat. Now, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, that is M.K. Gandhi, was born on October 2, 1869 in Porbandar, Gujarat. He shares his birthday with another Indian politician and statesman. Remember, we are using the term statesman, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Yes, so Lal Bahadur Shastri's birthday falls on the same day, that is today, 2nd October. See, we are using the word statesman, and statesmen, this is the word which is above politician. Statesmen are those who thinks for the nation first, who thinks for the states first, and who thinks for the people of the nation first or than his own interests. Now, a lawyer, Mahatma Gandhi, was life changed through his experience in South Africa. He played the most significant role in India's independence movement. Gandhiji led many successful satyagraha and ahimsa movement to free India from British colonial rule. He dedicated his life to the struggle for freedom. His non-violent approach and ability to win over with people with love and tolerance profoundly impacted the Indian civil rights movement. He was assassinated by Nathuram Godse on January 30, 1948. So the weapons that Mahatma Gandhi used are what? Satyagraha or non-violence. And why he used this Satyagraha and Ahimsa? Because if you carefully analyze the situation at that time, then you will find that we cannot directly fight with British with some violence way. Although non-violence is the first priority by Mahatma Gandhiji, but if you think intelligently also, then we can't fight British because they were very powerful at that time. They have colonies all over the globe, right? And they wanted to show us as what we are the one who are the backwards, and they actually tried to improvise our Indian society. And Gandhiji acted in a different way, in a non-violent way, and he henceforth proved the British means this presentation wrong, and he proved that we Indians are also advanced. We Indians also have our intelligence to carry forward our nation's goals. So we celebrate this day as national holiday, that is Gandhi Jayanti as national holiday, to pay tribute to our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhiji. And this day is also International Day of Non-Violence. In 2007, the United Nations General Assembly designated October 2 as International Day of Non-Violence to honor Gandhi's principles. So you remember the year? So this is 2007 when United Nations General Assembly designated October 2nd as International Day of Non-Violence. Now, according to the United Nations, the day is an occasion to disseminate the message of non-violence, including through education and public awareness. It reaffirms the universal relevance of the principle of non-violence and the desire to secure a culture of peace, tolerance, understanding, and non-violence. So these are about Gandhi Jayanti and International Day of Non-Violence. Now, we'll miss if we don't discuss some of the greatest contribution of Mahatma Gandhi towards Indian independence movement. So here I'm including some of the famous contribution of Mahatma Gandhi's towards Indian freedom movement. So you can see the year 1917 Samparan movement, 1918 Khera movement, 1919 Khilafat movement, 1920 non-cooperation movement, 1930 civil disobedience movement, and 1942 Quit India movement. So starting with 1917 Samparan movement. Indigo farmers of the Samparan district of Bihar have miserable conditions under the tin katia system. Remember this term, tin katia system. And what is this exactly? What is the tin katia system? The tin katia system forces the farmers or cultivators to cultivate indigo on the base of the 3/20 part of their land and forces them to sell it at a cheaper price. So British forced them to cultivate indigo for their own interests and forces the farmers to sell those indigo at cheaper price. Due to the worsening weather conditions, farmers were unable to grow the required quantity and pay heavy taxes. Now, observing all situations of all this worsening situation of the farmers, Rajkumar Shukla decided to meet Mahatma Gandhi and ask him for help. So yes, it was Rajkumar Shukla who actually invited Mahatma Gandhi for this indigo movement. So Rajkumar Shukla went to Lucknow and invited Gandhiji, and Mahatma Gandhi reached the Samparan first and approached the civil disobedience movement. He launched strikes and demonstrated against the landlords in Champaran. The government had to set up Champaran Agrarian Committee with Gandhiji as a member. Seeing all the protests and aggression of the farmers, the government decided to accept the demands of the cultivator. So you see, this is the first successful movement of Gandhiji. The next one is the 1980s Khera movement. So Khera movement was a no tax campaign that was started by Mohanlal Pandey in 1917. Mohanlal Pandey demanded the remission of taxes due to the poor situation of the crops or harvest in Khera, that is in Gujarat. Mahatma Gandhi joined the movement on 22nd March 1918. He started the Satyagraha and was joined by Vallabhbhai Patil and Indulal Yagnik. The demands of the farmers were later accepted by the British government. So that was another successful movement, Khera movement in 1918. Remember, that was a no tax campaign. Then third one is the 1919 Khilafat movement. Gandhi's influence on the Muslim population was also remarkable. This was evident in his involvement in the Khilafat movement. After the First World War, the Muslims feared for the safety of their caliph or religious leader, and a worldwide protest was being organized to fight against the collapsing status of the caliph, because you know that caliph was the religious leader of Muslim community, and as they thought that they need to protect or they need to protest for the safety of their caliph, so they organized to fight against the collapsing status of the caliph against the British. Now, Gandhi became a prominent spokesperson of the All India Muslim Conference and returned the medals he had received from the empire during his Indian Ambulance Corps days in South Africa. So as a protest, Gandhiji returned all the medals that he received during his Indian Ambulance Corps days in South Africa. His role in the Khilafat made him a national leader in no time. Then this one is the very famous one, 1920s non-cooperation movement in 1920. And this movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi in 1920. The horrific incident of Jallianwala Bagh led to the commencement of the non-cooperation movement. We all know about the Jallianwala Bagh of 1919. Now, Mahatma Gandhi convinced the people of India with the help of Congress to start the non-cooperation movement. The movement started peacefully and calmly, which is the ideology Mahatma Gandhi followed to create freedom in India. He then framed the concept of Swaraj, and it is one of the most crucial elements in the Indian freedom struggle. During the non-cooperation movement, people started boycotting the products of the British government. Non-cooperation means not cooperating with the British, not supporting with the British, boycotting the products of the British government and their establishment, like, no, boycotting schools, colleges, government offices, etc. The movement was successful. But what happened that due to the Chori Chora incident in 1922, where 23 police officers were killed, because of this violence, Mahatma Gandhi ended this movement. So this was about non-cooperation movement, and this is also related to Jallianwala Bagh incident, right? Jallianwala Bagh massacre, you can say. So by the time Jallianwala Bagh in Assam also one such massacre happened, right? Which we call as the Jallianwala Bagh of Assam. Can you name what is that particular incident? If you know that what is the Jallianwala Bagh of Assam, then comment your answer. Then next one is the 1930 civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement. This was started by Mahatma Gandhi in 1930 and is credited for paving the way for freedom in India. This was launched after the observance of Independence Day in 1930. You know, this 26 January, 26th January, that was chosen as the Independence, means Republic Day, because you know why? That was the first means Independence Day celebrated by Congress in 1930 in the session in December 1929. The Congress declared that they are going to celebrate, they are going to observe 26th January as the first Independence Day, and that is the day when they claim for, or they asked for, or they demanded for Purna Swaraj. Okay. Now, this civil disobedience movement commenced with the Dundee March on 12 March 1930. So this this is a salt breaking or salt law breaking movement, because this is a civil disobedience movement. We need to break a law, and that law was actually salt law of British, and that law was broken. That law was broken with the help of the salt satyagraha marches. And as you have just seen, that it was started on 12 March 1930 from Dundee. Okay, from Dundee, from the Sabarmati ashram, and actually reached Dundee on 20 after 24 days on 6th April 1930. So remember the date, 12 March 1930. It was started from Sabarmati ashram and reached Dundee on 6th April 1930. So 12 March to 6th April, that is about 24 days. Now, the production of salt was considered as illegal and was controlled by the government, that is that time British government. And when this event happened, the civil disobedience movement was accepted all across the country. Then this movement was also successful because British had to obey that what actually Gandhiji's demand was. So they permitted to produce salt for own home use, not for you can say commercial use, for the home purposes. Then in 1942, Quit India movement. During the Second World War, Gandhi was determined to strike the British Empire with a definitive blow that would secure their exit from India. Then this happened when British started recruiting Indians for the war. And Gandhiji protested strongly and said that the Indians cannot be involved in a war that is in favor of a democratic purposes when India itself is not a free country. And this argument exposed the two-faced image of the colonizer, and within half a decade, they were out of this country. Mahatma Gandhi launched this mass civil disobedience movement in 1942 and started Quit India movement. It forced the British to leave India, and a huge number of people supported this movement, right? As per the prelims exam point of view, remember this Quit India slogan was coined by one socialist Congress leader known as Yusuf Meher Ali. And also, you should not forget about the date of the Quit India movement launch, that is August 8, 1942. And this also a kind of means debate that whether this movement, this Quit India movement, was a non-violent one or a violent one, because of the slogan that given by Mahatma Gandhi here is "do or die." Because after the launch, all the leaders were being means arrested and kept in the jail by British. So this is again considered as a leaderless movement, and many violence activities also happen. After all, this movement is also kind of a, what we can say, a famous or a greatest contribution from Gandhiji's side. And do remember the slogan. What is the slogan given by Gandhiji here is the "do or die." So here we have gone through all the movements or famous independence movement or freedom movement that were the contribution from Mahatma Gandhi's side. So today we are celebrating Gandhi Jayanti and International Day of Non-Violence. From our side, from our Prepare channel also, I'm wishing all of you a very happy Gandhi Jayanti and a very happy International Day of Non-Violence. Zio or Zinedo, live and let us live. Okay? Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.